LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. As anyone in the late teens or early 20s will tell you, this is the only real game. Throw away your Mario 64, discard your Last of Us, starve your Breath of the Wild, ignore your GTA 5, this is the big one that really matters. Combining two fantastic games to make the, at the time, full Star Wars Saga playable in one game was incredible. I've recently been replaying it, finally 100%ing it due to severe senioritis I've come down with, and I must say, replaying it so many years later, it's okay, but it's not perfect. I know that sounds like blasphemy, but there are some levels that are better than others, and thus is why I'm speaking right now. You know the deal, I'm ranking every level in LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. But first, some things to know going in. What I've included in this list are the 36 story levels along with the first 4 bonus levels, Podrace Original, Gunship Cavalry Original, Anakin's Flight, and A New Hope. These are close enough to the other levels to where I feel like it's fair to rank them too. LEGO City and Newtown will not be included as they're stud challenges and are vastly different from the standard levels in the game. On top of that, rankings aren't necessarily based on how these levels are like at free play and challenge mode, as they're vastly different experiences. In story mode, the aim is to complete the level, whereas in those other modes, the goal is to get all the collectibles. Also, to make it easier to personally rank these and also more accurately show my opinion, I've rated each level on a scale of 1 to 10, so you can see that even if a level is low, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. Lastly, of course, this is my opinion. I love The Last Jedi, so maybe take my opinions with a grain of salt. This is the only level I feel like is truly bad. It's a really slow auto-scroller where you slowly fly through the level and eventually reach a shield with generators you have to destroy in order to continue. If you die or fail to destroy the generators, you have to restart at the beginning of that section. And it ends with a time segment where you have to destroy shield generators and then generators around these sphere ships. It's okay, but the unnecessary time limit doesn't help at all. 5 out of 10 is okay in my book. It's not bad but nothing good, which is exactly what I think of this level. I like the variety of locations in this level, going from the village to the woods to the shield bunker. It's cool, but I feel like the Battle of Endor has been done better in all other LEGO Star Wars games. The shield bunker section especially feels like a drag, which doesn't help as the level already feels unnecessarily long. Similar to the Battle of Endor, this level feels unnecessarily long. Most of the puzzles are fine, but the room with the pushable boxes and the button ice slide are awful. This level is really only cared by its atmosphere, and I think this level portrays the Echo Base really well. Now we're in the borderline good area. Retake Theed Palace is mostly fine, but like Echo Base and Endor, it just drags. I love the huge roster in story mode, but it also leads to a few annoying puzzles where you have to find ways to get everyone in the party past a certain section, which can just be straight up annoying. The new and improved Gunship Cavalry is barely improved. It's no longer an auto-scroller, instead you have to drag the rolling bombs to the shield generators. It's an improvement, but the rolling bombs really aren't fun, and the level still ultimately sets such a bland atmosphere. That isn't the level's fault. If anything, good on the level for accurately portraying how bleak Geonosis is, but it doesn't help at all. This level is mostly fine. You start off jumping from skiff to skiff and get to fight Boba Fett, then jump to Jabba's main sail barge. But then the level becomes getting access to the inside of the sail barge, working your way through it, then working your way across the deck to get to the cannon to destroy the barge. I love the accuracy to the film, and the first part is quite fun, but once you get to Jabba's sail barge, it starts to drag. This one's eh. You chase Zam, which is mostly fine, but the real stinger are the parts where you have to destroy the generators with the torpedoes. These parts really slow down the pace. Like Battle of Endor and Echo's Base, Jabba's palace main flaw to me is its length. It's long and repetitive, but it has a fun boss fight against the Rancor at the end. This one is an extreme guilty pleasure and is quite flawed, but I do enjoy it. There are multiple checkpoints throughout the track, and you have to reach each checkpoint before a certain racer. There are green speed boosts on the track, and the only way to beat the certain racer to the checkpoint is to hit all the speed boosts. If you miss one, it's pretty much over. And similar to Gunship Cavalry, if you fall down a pit, crash into a rock, or fail to reach the checkpoint in time, you have to restart at the last checkpoint. It's flawed and really hard, but I also find it a bit enjoyable figuring out how you can hit every single speed boost. It's not easy. The new version made for the Complete Saga is much better, but I do enjoy the original. The Battle of Hoth is my favorite Star Wars battle, but I'm not a huge fan of how it's portrayed here. Like Gunship Cavalry, it's mainly dragging rolling bombs around, which isn't crazy fun. You do have to take down ATSTs, which is quite fun, but the battle as a whole was simply done better in the Skywalker Saga. This is another level that's mostly fine, but it's just a bit too long. Like Battle of Endor, I like how you start up in the trees and work your way to Yoda's escape ship, and speaking of which, playing as Yoda is a blast. But besides that, it's nothing very exciting. Similar to the sail barge level, I love how this recreates iconic scenes, primarily the scene where Han chases a lone stormtrooper only to turn the corner and see a whole army of stormtroopers. Overall, this level's fine, but this is the second Death Star level, so the theme feels a bit more stale. This one has more puzzles, but these Zamboni type things are truly something awful. Once again, this level is fine, but is a bit long, especially once you get to play as Han and Chewie. The first part, you work your way to the cantina as Luke and Ben, and then you switch to Han and Chewie where you chase the Imperial spy and get to the Falcon. It's okay, but a bit long and not crazy memorable. You know, a few of my friends hold this level in high regards, but I don't get the hype. It's an on-rails vehicle level, so it's kind of boring. The most you have to do is shoot some red circles. This level is carried by the collectibles and the atmosphere, but besides that, I'm sorry, I don't get the hype. This one is pretty fun. I like riding the conveyor belts and bucket thingies. This level comes up first when I think of Attack of the Clones in the complete saga. There's so many sections that are so iconic to me, but I more so enjoy thinking about them rather than playing through them. A fun, simple, memorable level. Theed is portrayed excellently. This level is iconic to me. I like the character party you amass, but at its core, it's pretty average. Based on the iconic Death Star attack, this level would be an easy 10 out of 10 if it wasn't for these damn torpedo sections. Besides that, this level is a joy. The Death Star exterior is awesome and the trench run is a ton of fun, and being able to actually fire a shot into the exhaust point is a joy. Once again, a bit long, but I do enjoy most of the puzzles in the atmosphere. There's a fun Vader boss fight in the middle, and it ends with attempting to pull out the X-Wing, another great recreation of a super iconic scene. This one drags a bit as you have to destroy some scout troopers on speeders, find an ATSD, destroy the shield thing, rinse and repeat 4 times, but I love how it goes from on-foot puzzle solving to a vehicle level so quickly, and the final part where you have to take down an ATSD is fun as well. A short but sweet level. You go around the arena saving Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Padme, then fight some droids and lastly Jango Fett, and you have a short, enjoyable level. Would have been better if the creatures were in the level, but it's overall good. Oh man, the final level, and it's quite fun. Start by taking down 4 Star Destroyers, then fly through the Death Star, reach the core, blow it up, and escape. Like the other ship levels, its only flaw is the incessant use of torpedoes. Besides that, it's great. Just like Into the Death Star, it's a fun vehicle level that is only held back by its use of torpedoes. Start with destroying Star Destroyer defenses, then fly through the asteroid field. You could even fly into the Slug, which is really neat. A great level outside of the torpedo usage. Another long level, but is enjoyable based on its variety of areas. From the canyons to a sandcrawler to the moisture farms, it's simple, it's not crazy memorable, but it's a pretty enjoyable time. The first Death Star level, I love going through it, trying to blend in wearing Stormtrooper helmets. The Death Star interior is so iconic to me, so I love being able to play through it in the game. Bespin is my favorite Star Wars planet, and I love running around the White Halls of Cloud City. It's a tad too long, with the outdoor section especially being not crazy enjoyable, but the atmosphere and accuracy to the location makes me adore this level so much. The second level in the game, it just feels super iconic. It's short and sweet, rushing, you can beat it in like 3 minutes, but it's a fun level with a neat atmosphere. The bonus level where you play as Darth Vader on the Tantive 4. This level is short but super fun. I love playing as Vader. It's cool playing through a level from the Empire's perspective. It's crazy short but still a good time. For such a grim scenario, this is a fun level. While it sucks that it's destroyed, I love being able to play through and explore the Jedi Temple. Unlocking the door to the security recordings drags a bit, but besides that, it's an excellent level. Fighting Darth Vader in all the locations Luke fights him in is so fun. The only flaw is the co-op. I don't like how you have to use R2 to stun Vader, but besides that, this is a really fun boss level. Another boss fight level, but there's a door puzzle before the fights. The fight itself is pretty fun, but this is an average boss level that is just overall isn't crazy memorable in my opinion. Still great though. Now we're in the great territory, and kicking it off we have the Grievous boss level. I feel that the co-op is much better in this level, as Cody's needed to do more than just stun Grievous. I like how each time Grievous runs away, you make your way a bit farther around the side. Overall, a great adaptation of the Grievous fight. Yet another boss level. I love how this one recontextualizes parts of the Theed Palace generator area into puzzles. It can be a bit of a drag, but it's overall a well done fun chase level that ends with a fantastic all-out brawl on Maul. The improved pod race is so much fun. The only objective is to reach the finish line of the final lap for Sebulba. It's just a straight up race, similar to real racing games, like Mario Kart. This level is just super fun. The final bonus level and the best ship level in the game. You destroy some stuff outside of the blockade runner, then go inside and blow stuff up. Simple, but a ton of fun. Oh my, you're working your way through the invisible hand, boss fight with Dooku, then escape the sideway elevators, maneuver through some sideway rooms, then take control of the ship deck. It's a ton of fun making your way through the ship. The Dooku fight is fun, and again, it's fun seeing scenes recreated from the movie, along with some scenes that were cut. The atmosphere is on top in this level. Going from the stormy outside to the bright white halls inside, priceless. Chasing Jango through Kamino, ending with a boss fight against him. Overall, a fantastic level and an amazing way of adapting Kamino into an action-packed level. The first level of A New Hope and the original trilogy as a whole, and being based on one of the greatest film openings of all time. The bright walls of the Tantive as you work your way through it, reach the mechanical areas of the ship as you switch to playing as the droids. It's the perfect introduction to the more shooter-focused gameplay of the original trilogy levels, along with just simply being a fantastic level. Now we reach the 3 best levels, the 10 out of 10, starting with... This level is so damn iconic, but also serves as the perfect first level. It teaches you the core mechanics of the Force, combat, activation panels, double jumping, and overall has a charming sense of accuracy to the film and an overwhelming sense of nostalgia. The perfect first level, an absolute masterpiece on pretty much every front. The last boss fight, Luke and Vader team up to fight Palpatine, switching characters to damage Palps, chasing him around the throne room, solving light puzzles as the emotional music swells all around. It's the perfect final boss fight, and Luke teaming up with Vader feels like the perfect parallel of... the final level of the prequel trilogy, and without a doubt the best level of the game. Based on the Anakin versus Obi-Wan scene, the game takes a really interesting approach where you have to work with your enemy to beat the level. You start with running towards the camera as the ground collapses, avoiding falling into lava. Then you reach a room that'll collapse soon. You can build supports to get some extra time, but you also have to work together to clear the door and open it. Then move along the collapsing walkway, working together to raise and lower platforms. And lastly, do some platforming through the lava lake, ascending the spire, then jumping onto solid ground. And now that the ground is stable, both players get 6 hearts, and after working together for the whole level, and also a majority of the game, it's a fight to the death between the two. It's absolutely incredible, an ingenious way to adapt the scene into a co-op level, and going from battling Anakin at the end of the prequels to working with Anakin at the end of the originals is such an awesome feeling. And that is my ranking of the 36 story missions and first 4 bonus missions in LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. So let me know if you want to rank the portable Complete Saga levels and maybe all of the levels in other LEGO Star Wars games. As intimidating as it is, I wouldn't mind doing it, so if you want to see that happen, just let me know and have a great day.